you need a clear picture of how general education is supposed to work when it's done right. In episode 1, we were introduced to a tiered intervention system. Every school should have a system of interventions which is used for all children in the school. Interventions should be provided through frameworks such as response to intervention, RTI, which guides the decision making process of how and when to utilize interventions. Interventions are one of the foundations of learning and teaching. I am going to give you a very basic understanding of tiered interventions. Let me paint a picture for you, and you can probably imagine this, whether you've lived it as a student, seen it as a parent, or implemented it as an educator. It's a kindergarten classroom. Today, in her lesson, Ms. K is going to teach the class how to add single digits. A good teacher pre-plans for approximately 80% of their students to be successful at understanding the lesson the first time it is taught. What do you do for the 20% of students who still didn't understand the lesson the first time with the differentiated instruction and embedded Tier 1 interventions? The answer is you have to now go to Tier 2 interventions. Effective schools and teachers embed strong, differentiated instruction and Tier 1 interventions into the first lessons to automatically account for all of the different learners and for the students who may not understand the lesson when it is taught the first time. If Ms. K's classroom had 20 students and 80% of them understood the lesson, that means 16 students are ready to move to the next lesson, and 4 students are not. Those 4 students will now be retaught utilizing Tier 2 interventions. I'm not going to specifically explain what strategies teachers use for interventions in each tier, since that depends on the individual needs of the students. Additionally, teachers have a wide variety of interventions to choose from. But generally speaking, the difference between the tiers in interventions is the fact that each tier will be more individualized to the specific misunderstandings and needs of each student. For Ms. K's 4 students, Tier 2 interventions may look something like Ms. K reteaching the lesson with differentiated instruction in a different manner, and it may be done in a very small group as opposed to the entire class. After Ms. K teaches her Tier 2 interventions to the group of 4 students, let us say that 75% or 3 of the students will be successful and have their misunderstandings clarified, which will allow them to move on to the next lesson. Now, what should Ms. K do with the last student who still has not made progress and has not responded to her Tier 2 intervention? Ms. K will now reteach the student using Tier 3 interventions. Ms. K will assess the student, and after the assessment, Ms. K should specifically address all of the misunderstandings she noticed in the assessment. This may look like Ms. K working one-on-one with the student and reteaching the lesson specifically individualized to this student's misunderstandings and needs. If the student is successful, then great. The tiered intervention process has been successful, and the student can now move on to the next part of the lesson. This is how a tiered intervention system is supposed to work, and it is for all students in a school. A big part of the problem in education today is that many educators and parents believe the process I just described is special education. It's not. It was interventions, which again are for all children. But we will talk more about this in future episodes. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Visit GilbertBanksFilms.com and join the newsletter to receive your free copies of some of the diagrams I use in these videos.